Yeah, I'm still working with my Cardinals, and this is one of my receivers. It's a customized Reginald Rutledge figure that I put together. And I wasn't sure what base I wanted to put on it as a receiver. So the first base I thought I was going to use, a Tudor Super Pro Line base. Thought I was going to use these double hooks here at the top and mount it on this Reginald Rutledge figure because it doesn't have the hole to accommodate the single clip base. So I found a Buzzball directional base, and I worked with this base a little bit, and I got it moving. I want to share that with you today. We're gonna set this figure down on the table. We're gonna watch him run. It's a little bit slower that time. But what I learned about this base from working with it, this particular base, is these two prongs here. These two prongs in the top left corner, right up here. I notice that when I simply press down on them a little bit, I can get a little more speed out of them. Let's see what it does. And it ran straight at that time. I also notice that with these two prongs on the top right corner here, I'll push those up a little bit. Not too much. Just move our figure off the table there. I get a different outcome. Let's see what this base does again. Notice how it loops to the right. I don't want it doing that. So I want to push these two prongs, these two prongs here at the top right corner. I want to slightly push them back down some. I've already used my heated pliers, and I used my Zurin pliers and these thinner flat duckbill pliers on these prongs already. So there's no more need for any more tools on this base. So I'm going to push down slightly, sweeping those prongs back. These prongs is on the top right corner here, because we don't want that base to loop anymore. We want that base to go straight. I just wanted to show you that so that you can see how once you learn what a base does, you know what it needs whenever the base begins to act funny. Let's run this figure and see what happens. Okay, it's back turning to the left again. So I want to go to this side here. Push down a little bit. Just taking care to make sure those prongs are aligned. Trying to find that sweet spot. And once I do, then I know where to position those prongs to get this base to perform. There it is. I'm going to leave this base as is for now. And I'm going to keep running it, and I'm going to match it up against a couple of corners. Okay, turned a little bit there. Let's put it back on this end of the board. Maybe it's the vibration up here that's causing it to turn. But as you can see, this base is acting erratic. I'm going to keep working with these front prongs, because that's where the work is being done on this particular base. Also, this pose is a front leaning pose, and that too is having an effect on the movement of this base. So we want to make sure these prongs aren't swept back too far, because that could cause the figure to collapse. Let's run it again. Beautiful run. So now, I'm convinced now, after this small test, I know that these front prongs on this base have to be kept upright. So I'm going to use, later on offline, I'm going to get my thicker duckbill pliers, and I'm going to manipulate these prongs in the front to get those prongs to stay up. Not too far up, but just enough to where it won't drag under the figure, causing the figure to dip like so. I'm Mo. Thanks for watching.